14th of March 2018. It was a very nice day, as that was the birthday of Albert Einstein, but was also to be remembered as the day of death for an equally same diamond, Mr. Stephen Hawking. He was one of our scientific explorer who came to understand the universe. His family members, Lucy Robert and Tim Hawking, informed that he was long gone from this world. The universe, towards which he committed his whole life to, was now left behind without him. Stephen was diagnosed with a very rare and severe disease in 1963. He was diagnosed with a disease called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, also known as motor neurone disease, MND, and was said that he will live up very few years, precisely 2-3 years only. He was just 21 years old when these incidents took place. Slowly, the disease came into effect and started to paralyze Stephen's body. Initially, it paralyzed very few parts of Stephen's body, but slowly it became denser and denser, making Stephen's whole body paralyzed. For this, he lost his ability of writing, and it also stopped him from spreading his deep understanding of science and humanity. But he was one of them who was not going to let things go quickly. So for him, a voice synthesizer machine was developed, with which we got to see him frequently in science events. This machine, that actually is a computer that can help him type only with the help of a sensor. Two big companies, Dell and SwiftKey, helped Mr. Hawking in making the machine. And by this machine, he sent a message to humanity that has a very deep impact on us. For 3 decades, he taught theoretical physics and applied mathematics in the Cambridge University of England, along with which he also wrote many books such as The George's Secret Key, that can also be read by kids. A Brief History of Time is also one of his best-selling books in the world that makes us understand very complicated things of science very easily. We all, the science enthusiasts who followed him, knew that he had the biggest interest in black holes, because he believed that if we can be able to understand these celestial phenomena of the world, then we can also be able to understand the brain of the universe. He also discovered the Hawking's radiation theory that will mathematically prove that black hole can also radiate in space just like stars and planets. But this will take very long time. In fact, it will be universe's last event. Besides this, no one can forget his contribution in giving life to the Big Bang Theory. In the year 1960, the Big Bang Theory was not supported due to some left-out reasons. But in the year 1970, Stiffen's theorems explained all the missing links, and after which the Big Bang Theory was supported by many more scientists. Today, this theory stands as the most supported theory for the topic of start of this universe. Although Hawking was a scientist, but he also acted as an actor to support science in the movie of Star Trek and many more. His animated character was made in Simpsons. And finally, in the year 2014, a biography movie was made on him named The Theory of Everything. In this movie, we get information on his childhood and his relation with his wife, and in this film also science was promoted. He believed it was way to show his love and affection towards science. He was also very tensed on surviving of human species. In one of his science conference, he said that he can see very mind-blowing risks coming up on human species, before also many incidents happened that questioned the existence of human species on this planet. Hawking told that he is expecting that if the human species will survive 200 years more on Earth, then it can also survive as the species that will make it possible to survive in space. He also encouraged us to be prepared for the future. The reason for is death is also declared as the same ALS disease. His family also declared that he passed an easy death and he did not feel any pain. At the beginning of his disease, doctors said his life would be for a few years, but after that, he lived for more than 50 years. One must be thinking how he survived for such a long period of time besides this serious disease. The reason behind it is the muscle tissues and neurons attached to his digestive system and respiratory system did not stop working as his other body parts did. This happens with only one person among 15 diagnosed with this disease, and Stephen Hawking was one of them. Due to the correct working of all the important operations of his body, he was able to live this long. After Albert Einstein, the contribution of Stephen Hawking towards science would stay above all others. Long back once, he said this universe would not feel like this if there would not be the people whom we love. We will always remember him and his contributions made towards science. If you want to know about his contribution, you can read his books. This was the real truth of Mr. Stephen Hawking.